What is up, champs? Champion Trucker coming back at you with a new video. And in this video, we got a champ. We got a OG. A real OG asking me a question. Thank you so much. Shout out to the real, I always forget, but I say real rare AP. The real rare AP. There we go. The real rare AP. The question was, yo, I'm in my first week of training at PFG. And this is definitely the hardest job I've ever had. I only weigh 150 and I was struggling doing a dolly with bags of flour and oil on it. Any tips? I'm having thoughts of leaving. Do you think I should just take less stuff and make more trips? So I told him I'll make a video on this tomorrow, and boom, bada bing, I'm gonna have this uploaded, and this is just for you. Shout out to the real rare AP, due to the fact that I don't know if it's a, hold on, I'm about to sneeze. I believe that it's a guy asking me a question. If not, my bad. But again, this is an OG watcher of mine, and I definitely want to bring this question to light. And it's not something that I just thought of. Typically, I talk about certain subjects, and I appreciate if you guys have anything in the comments below. I'll definitely talk about. But I've done food service, and I was with Performance Food Group, I was with Cisco, and I was with McLean. And I jumped around in the beginning. I am ashamed of that, but you know, it taught me a lot about myself and getting to where I am now. And I feel god awful this week. I don't know what's going on, but you know, with that being said, I'm still showing up, doing as much as possible, even though I don't feel the best. Really, it kind of like honed in today, but it is what it is. We're gonna keep pushing. I'm not counting out just yet. But when it comes down to food service, it's a difficult job. I'm just gonna let you guys know that, point blank simple. If you're somebody that hasn't been conditioned to do some heavy lifting, you know, having to do a lot of push-pull kind of movements, you haven't been in the gym, you don't have much stamina, but you're looking to get into it for the money, I do have to say that it's gonna be a rude awakening. It is a tough job. Not an impossible job, but a tough job, and I commend anybody that's out there that's in food service. Now you asked me, should you've been, or you didn't ask me, but you've been thinking about quitting, and I get it. I've done it, so I can't really sit here and say why would you quit. No, I get it, but I want you to think about a few things before you go down that route. How excited were you when you first got that job? How excited were you when you heard about the money that you were going to get? A lot of us, we get something, but we forget how amped up and how much we were persistent in getting it, and we're not willing to hold on to it. Now, I'm going to tell you something rare. I'm going to just call you rare, but I'm going to tell you something rare. When I was with McLean, I know it's not the same, but when I was with McLean, I was making about $3,000 every 2 weeks after tax. And that was me training. That wasn't me actually going on there. So after tax and with benefits, that's $3,000. Now, had I stayed with McLean to this day, I would have been making $135,000. Every position on the grocery store side is filled. And so there is no going back. I mean, there's possibility that somebody might leave, but the way I left and the things that they did to me, I would no longer return. But had I had the mindset that I have now, I would have been a lot more appreciative of the time that I had there. Now, it's tough in the beginning. You're faced with something, you think that, hey, if I can't get it down in the first week, month, even 6 months, I should quit. My suggestion is analyze what you want. What was it that you wanted to get out of this? Was it to be fit? Was it to get money? Was it to all of these things? Start analyzing the pros and cons and what's out here. You're home every day, and sometimes you might have found just the diamond in the rough where you're working 4 days and you get Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday off. If that's your position, I'm gonna tell you what I would do. If I had to go back, I would stick it out. That's just me. If I had to go back then to work for Performance Food Group, because I know what you're talking about, bags of flour, I would definitely pace myself. In the beginning, you're believed to be under a certain amount of pressure. I would first build up not strength, I would build up your stamina. If you're able to take shorter trips, but you're able to move fast, 150 pounds, I'm 165. If you're able to move fast or move at a consistent speed, that's the big thing. Going fast up and then slow down doesn't matter. If you go a good enough speed up that ramp, then down the same way, you're not going to be burnt out. It's always about, like, I see guys in the gym, like I've been in the gym and stuff like that. I know I wear oversized t-shirts and stuff, but I've been in the gym doing some stuff, right? And a lot of guys, they go fast, and not knowing that if you see a lot of my older videos, I was very skinny. I was in the gym, not as much as I am now, but a lot of stuff is, okay, you could go fast up, but you want to go down slow. Right? You want your muscles to feel and tear and do all that, because when you go to the gym, you're destroying your body. When you're going to work at Performance Food Group, you are destroying your body in order to create a new, to pretty much get to a homeostasis. Like, you're like, oh, okay, you know what? I've been tearing up my body going up and down this ramp. You'll get into a position where you're able to take on this load. Now, if you are severely overweight and you're finding it, you're 150, I don't know how tall you are, but if you're 150, 5'9", 5'10", your body will be able to handle it. You'll be surprised how much you could do, especially when I was in the military. I was 110, 120 pounds at that time, and the smallest guy out there. And I remember our commander told her, he looked at me, he said, I don't know if you're gonna make it, Private. You falling behind. Lo and behold, I was able to push through it. It was a ruck march. And if you know anything about basic training, that FTX, I think it was 3, it was tough. You got that rucksack, you got to have it high on your shoulders, you got to hold that weapon in your hand, the M4 if you went somewhere else, and you got the M16. But yeah, it's a tough job. But when it comes down to real life in your daily job, set goals for yourself. Like, say, okay, I can't do all this weight. Maybe I should work on this weight, lower it down, stop trying to be a captain, a superhero. Maybe lower down the weight, find a consistent speed, and get a rhythm. It's all about a rhythm. Because if you're trying to go too fast in the beginning, you'll burn out. You'll absolutely burn out. I've done it. So I'm coming from pretty much a space of knowing it. I've done it 3 times and realizing that, dang, maybe this ain't for me. When nobody was gonna fire me, nobody was looking at me to be superhero, and if they were, I did my best. See, I'd rather do my best and then say, hey, you don't meet the cut, than me giving up and finding out that I could have made $135,000 and be home every day had I just stayed into it. It would have been tough, but my body would have built up to it. Now, if I were to go to food service, which I'm not going to, I'm happy where I am, but if I went to food service, I know I could do the job. There's gonna be hard parts about it, like having a dang gunny, somebody putting a case all the way at the bottom, putting a case, you gotta start digging and moving your trailer around. But once you start actually like making your space, like I got all this, right? I got my banner in the back, I got some like vines and whatever, and I really took trucking seriously because I made my space my space. You got your day cab, but really your space is back in that trailer. So I mean, if you need to get a speaker and a magnetic speaker, put it up there, put a song, listen to something while you're doing it. A big tip is listen to something while you're in food service, if you can, if you're allowed. I was allowed to, so I would play some music and I'm just jamming. Sometimes there'll be a little hot thing, little honey, you know, at one of the stops, maybe it was Five Guys or something like that, and I see a fine girl, I'll be like, all right, I'm excited for that stop. So every single day, set a goal for yourself. It could be about a girl, it could be about fitness, it could be about anything. But as long as you got a goal and it's not far, it's not like 6 months, it's maybe a weekly goal and then a monthly goal, then it's 3, 6, a year. You'll be surprised how much time will fly by, and you'll look at this moment like, dang, it's minuscule. So I say, what are your ultimate goals in life, right? What do you really want to do? What do you want to achieve? And then, is this job going to get you there? If you're at home every day, you're making good amount of money, but the biggest problem is this hard work. Well, how can you make the hard work tolerable? And if you can't, then you got to move on. If you get to the point where you wake up and you're absolutely just, you hate your life, you hate your day, that's not what you got into trucking for. Trucking is about the road, right? You can break it down to local positions, but ultimately you got into this job and learned a skill, something that a lot of people, they just go to college and they, you know, college gives them a structure. I went to college. They give you a structure and it's made easy. Some areas you got to be disciplined. Like if you want to be a doctor, you're not going to the fraternity parties. You're going to be focusing on the books, learning anatomy, learning the next thing. So if you got into trucking, you learned something that a lot of people don't want to do. Then on top of that, you're in food service. Not a lot of people want to even do that. So then you're making a certain amount of money, determining really anywhere, you're going to be making quite a bit of money. So you got that position, you put yourself in that position. How can you capitalize in that position? Because you're not stuck. And I believe in you, Rare. You've been watching the channel for such a long time. You've seen me go up and down. You've seen me leave and then come back. You've seen me go. So I have already this knowledge that if you leave without doing everything that you possibly can, pushing yourself to the absolute limit, you're gonna kick yourself. You're gonna be like me, hearing one of my trainers that I bumped into at the Loves telling me I make $135,000, and after tax I make about $5,000, a little over $5,000 every 2 weeks. That's with benefits at McLean. So never ever limit yourself without doing strong thinking. Take a day off, take a breather. Like, don't take a day off at work because you need to work, but take a day off, or in that day off, kind of go walk around the park and kind of see, like, okay, is this job going to get me to the freedom that I desire? Some people don't, they just want to work a job, right? But if you have a goal and objective, I keep on reiterating this because it's so important, because if you have a goal and objective, then you'll be solid. That's it. But if you sit here and you're like, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, like some people have made it, well then yeah, you're gonna look like this is doom and gloom. I know that I want to do more in my own life, and so in order for me to do that, I got to use some kind of resource, some kind of place. Just like, see, businesses, they use you, right? Why can't we use the business? So we got a simple mindset. We're thinking like, we're going to show up to this food service job. This is going to be it for the rest of my life. And I'm going to have to deal with the snow, the rain, the everything. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, just because you leave this situation doesn't mean that you're going to gain another. You're going to have to tackle it somewhere. And if you absolutely hate food service, then go into something that is more tolerable. But I'm going to tell you, every dang gunning thing you try to do LTL, they're always rushing. They're on the clock. You try to do this dedicated account, you're gonna have pallets fall over. You're gonna have difficulties in this. So it doesn't matter where you want to, where you're at. It's can you tolerate it, and does it get it to my goals? That being said, I appreciate you, Rare. I appreciate it. AP, I'm just real Rare AP. Thank you so much for the comment. And a lot of you guys, I appreciate you guys coming on to these videos and liking it, or just even watching. Because I like this conversation. A lot of things that I've been thrown at, you know, I got a few pretty much comments that I got to talk about in the coming videos. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch all of you champs in the next one. Peace.